Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today we're doing another indie horror spotlight. I'd like to welcome back. I have a film director, and he's also a writer, and he has two short films out. One in the Christmas Revenge, as well as Phil Herman's Unearthed. I have with us Derek Braasch. Derek, welcome back to the Horror Room, man.
Thank you for having me back. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. So, tell us a little bit about Christmas Revenge.
So, Revenge is part of Phil Herman's anthology called I Slaying Christmas. It's one of the four stories that something that me and my wife, Nina Trader, wrote. It's a dark horror comedy, and we just had a blast writing it. So, my wife stars in it, as well as AJ Laird, Justin Bauer, Heather Harlow, Lillian Lamore, and Jody Bartolo, and Bryce Bauer. So it's been doing really good with the reviews. We had a lot of people that loved it. The feedback was great. So it's been loved it.
You like froze. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, I'm gonna start over again because it like froze.
Sure. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today we're doing another indie horror spotlight. I have back with us today. He's a director as well as a writer, and he has two short films out under the Phil Herman's anthologies. The first one is Christmas Revenge, and he also has one under the Phil Herman's Unearthed anthology. I have back with us Derek Braasch. Derek, welcome back to the Horror Room. Derek? Hello? Derek? Hello? Hello?
Hello? Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what happened. Like, you completely froze that time.
Yeah, your screen went away. Mine was up, but yours went away.
Okay. All right, let's try that again.
Right. Yeah, no problem.
Technology, right? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today we're doing another indie horror spotlight. I'd like to welcome back director, filmmaker, Derek Braasch, and he has two amazing short films out under the Phil Herman's anthologies. One is called Christmas Revenge, and he also has another anthology in the Phil Herman's Unearthed. Derek, welcome back to the Horror Room.
How you doing, Travis? Thank you so much for having me on again.
It's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. Tell us a little bit about Christmas Revenge.
So I've been working with Phil Herman for the last couple of years, working on a handful of projects, and he came to me and said, "Hey, we want you to be part of this other project that's going to be a Christmas horror themed anthology, which was I Slaying Christmas." So me and my wife came up with a cool idea of writing Christmas Revenge, where the one of the characters takes Santa for hostage, and some crazy stuff happens with a cool twist. So me and my wife wrote that together, which is something I directed, and it stars my wife, AJ Laird, Justin Bauer, Heather Harlow, Lillian Lamore, Joe DeBartolo, and Bryce Bauer. So I want to make sure I get everyone. But yes, small cast, but we had a killer time. It was great. It was a great film.
Awesome. Now, is it hard? I mean, when Phil came up to you and said, "Hey, do you want to make a short film in this Christmas anthology?" Was it hard for you and your wife to come up with an idea? I mean, because there's been so many different Christmas horror comedies or Christmas horror films. Was it hard to come up with what is a fresh idea?
Yeah, it is. It is hard. You kind of bounce around different ideas, and sometimes, there's so much films in your head that just kind of seep in. You're trying to push those back out, but we kind of came up with something as best as we can that was kind of original. But once we got the ball rolling, we just kind of went loose with it, and we and fleshed it out, and was really happy with the outcome.
Now, it's interesting. Anytime I see it, I'm pretty sure for most people see Christmas and horror together.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you think about it, Christmas is kind of the thought of Santa Claus, a strange man coming through your chimney, coming to your house, is a scary thought.
Yeah. Yeah, and we kind of incorporate something funny with, you'll see with the main character, his perspective of Santa Claus and what he thinks he sees and what he really sees. So we did a little twist with that, and I think audiences really liked the reviews we've been getting from the anthology. A lot of people have been really liking, giving some shout outs for Christmas Revenge, so which I loved.
That's awesome. Now, how long
Yeah.
did it take you and your wife to with the initial concept to the actual finishing of the production?
Not too long because once Phil gives us the idea, or like that we're going to do project, we have to shoot it or get a script, shoot it, and edit it. So the idea and the script, we got that finalized. I think it was within I think just in a month. So we had the idea, we start writing. My wife would write, I would write. We just kind of back and forth, and she would kind of come through and kind of be the script doctor and tighten it up. And then it was we filmed it in July, almost a year, July of 2023. So it was 2 days of shooting. I think 3 days. One was pickup shots, and then my editor Bobby Thompson did the score, sound design, edited by. I think it took him about a month and a half. So
It must be amazing to have your wife to be able to help you write scripts and write the story and have someone to bounce, I mean, in the house to bounce off ideas.
yeah, no, it's great. I mean, having her be she's a very supportive person, and I love that. Sometimes she needed a little breather because, like, when she met me, I was like film, film, film. So, like, her world has been kind of come film. But no, she did enjoy writing it with me, and she played one of the leads, and we had a great time.
Now, I've also interviewed you as well. You also have a short film inside the Phil Herman's Unearthed, which looks absolutely amazing. Tell us a little bit about that one.
So, Unearthed, our film is called The Ties That Bind, and that's something that me and my wife wrote. Actually, my wife wrote most of it, and that one is a thriller, and we haven't done a thriller. It's almost been since my first feature. So this one is definitely a thriller with a little element of horror, not much at all. But when we gave the script to everyone, the cast, we had like 6 or 7 people that were just enamored with the storytelling, and they love the twist at the end. So that gave us a rush that the cast alone is already excited. So we already had a script reading last month for the film, and we start production. We start shooting April 19th and 20th, and then about 7 or 8 days of shooting. So 2 days in April, 2 days in May, and hopefully we'll finish the rest in June. And I think it has to be done and turned into Phil, I think sometime in September, the final cut.
Thanks. Now, we're working with Phil. So does he give you an idea of a film, or does he allow you to come up with, does he give you like he gives you a topic and you come from there and make your own, brainstorm your own idea?
Yeah, for this one he did. The other ones we didn't have to. This one, for The Ties That Bind, he had 4 topics. We got to pick the one. So he did that with that one. And then he gave you just an idea, just simple idea. Like it could be a man stranded on a desert. And then there's 3 other scenarios, and you pick one. And then from that, you kind of build off of that. And that's what we did. And each one will have like kind of a common theme. Like one has to include this prop, this. So that was, Phil's great to work with. He gives you a lot of creative freedom to do what you want to do, and with your cast and crew. So
now, is there a set time? Like, so when working for, does he give a set time? This has to be 20 minutes. Does it have to be 15 minutes? Or
no more than 20 minutes. It's been 15 to 20 minutes for the shorts. Yeah.
Now you've done full length features, and I ask a lot of filmmakers who do full length and shorts.
Yeah.
Is it easier? I mean, is it harder making shorts? Because I mean, with shorts, you're trying to tell a story in a short period of time compared to a full length feature. You might have 90 minutes.
Right. It is tough. For one of the films that we did, it's called the Doomsday Stories. I did a film called A Broken Promise, and that was supposed to be no longer than 20 minutes. And what we shot and with the story, it came out to, I want to say 28 minutes or 20. It was 10 minutes over, and Phil and Joe Wincoop at the time, that's fine, then let us keep that in there. At the point, they almost thought we had to cut it down, and we were worried about that because cutting it down would hurt the storytelling. But we didn't have to. So that was, like you said, that's for your example. That was trying to keep it in that 20-minute slot. So yeah. That was
Yeah,
really rough.
yeah, I can imagine it's tough to get a beginning, middle, end in such a
Yeah.
short period of time,
Yeah.
and also give the audience some type of character development.
Right. Oh, sure. It was.
Now, how long have you been making horror films?
It's about 25 years. I graduated from film school in 1999, and then I was doing little projects here and there. And then I started my first feature film in 2002 called The Icing. It's an erotic thriller, and it actually stars Chicago Bears quarterback Jim McMahon.
Oh, nice.
He's got like a 10 or 15 minute part, and that was Jim McMahon. That was his longest role for any type of film that he did. So we were honored to have him be in our film. So yeah.
Are you a Bears fan?
I am. I haven't followed sports, but I've always was a Bears fan. But once I got into high school, I got more into music and movies. I would play sports and be athletic, but I haven't followed sports in a while. But back in the day, I was always, Cubs fan, Bears fan, Bulls fan. Yeah.
I would say the Bears have a tough decision coming up right now with the first draft pick, and they have Justin Fields. So that's a tough pickle to decide. I'm curious to see how that's going to play out.
Yeah.
All right. So at what point did you decide? So you come out of film school. Did you always have a passion for horror? Did you know I'm going to be a horror? I'm going to put most of my energy into making horror films?
I always, what started it for me, my parents got cable back in the day. So when I was 10, 11, we had Cinemax, HBO. So I was always watching anything and everything. I was watching Stallone films, Schwarzenegger films, horror films. I liked everything. I knew back, I think what made me want to make films in 1987 when Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn came out, came on HBO. One night I was watching it, and I remember the scene where Bruce Campbell, the camera kind of pan zooms right into him, he flies through the tree. And I'm like, I never in a movie seen anything like that. Right then and there, I knew I wanted to do something in filmmaking. I didn't know what, because I was 11. I didn't know what a director was or a DP. Right then and there, I knew I wanted to be a filmmaker. And then I went to films. I took some classes in high school and junior college. And I knew that I gravitated toward like graphic violence and gore and all that stuff. But my templates lately it's been like not only horror, but we've been kind of delving into like comedy and other stuff. I like it all, but I do kind of gravitate toward like the darker subjects for sure.
Now, in 25 years of you being a filmmaker, shit has changed drastically.
Yeah.
With streaming services, but not only that, with technology, you can there's filmmakers who are making films on their iPhones, and with the prices of camera equipment are less expensive.
Yeah.
What are some challenges right now that you see as a filmmaker that wasn't out there 25 years ago?
So I know like nowadays the ease of getting films out to everyone quicker is there. I get that. It's nice you can show someone your phone right away as opposed to like, hey, come to my house, let's put the DVD in. It's different. Now I think back then I don't think there was much of competition. I'm a competitive person, so there wasn't much competition. Now you're competing with kids are 18 whose stuff looks better than yours. It's like you kind of like feel less of a man, like, oh my God. So the competition's there. I feel like it is harder. You're competing with millions of people with iPhones or their Black Magic, their Red Camera. It's like everywhere. You're competing a lot more, I think, than when I was younger and everything. But it is nicer that you can get the stuff out quicker. I do miss that DVDs are dying. And except for the horror community, when you go to conventions, I still make DVDs for my crew. I like with CDs and DVDs, I like to have that tangible, piece of artwork in my hand. Yeah, I do miss that now. Everything I'll ask people at work or anybody, hey, I got it on DVD. Like, oh, I don't have a DVD player, just stream it. So I miss that. I do miss the old school feel of that, So I'm still dated in that sense, So
I am too, man. I grew up in the VHS era, and I love DVDs. Like, I still buy DVDs, and like you say, in the horror conventions, like I go to horror conventions, and there's an indie director that I like, I always push a DVD, but also because I like for them to autograph it, and it's like something to collect. but like there's something nice about having that physical copy that definitely beats streaming.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, I was telling my wife, or telling someone, if your Netflix like crashes and it goes down, you can put, hey, I'm gonna watch Young Guns Part 2 or Police Academy 4. I'm gonna put the DVD in. You can do that. But that's I love having DVDs still. It's amazing. Even like I said, CDs. I like collecting all the having the artwork, seeing like the new Slayer album or Fate's Warning. I just
Yeah,
like seeing the artwork in my hands. It's important to me. So
it's nice. I mean, it's like you say, even like CDs, like or buying a CD, like you get the book, you can read, the lyrics to the songs, you get to see
yeah,
the artwork, you get to see any inspirations that the musician had. It was an
yeah.
amazing experience buying a CD.
Oh yeah, it is. I love it.
Now, so by it being easier for anybody to make a movie now and get a movie out there, you also think that's a bad thing?
In a way, I think sometimes maybe it might be too oversaturated, or where everyone thinks they're a filmmaker. I think it could be, it's just. I think it could be in a sense. There might be too much of it. I think it's great you have those tools, at your fingertips. But I think it's just like there's like so much competition. I think it's like just sometimes overwhelming. It's just like with TV shows, there's always something. I like variety, but I think it's like back then it was like it's like with chips. You had barbecue plain, now you have chips that taste like watermelon, chips that taste like pickles. I mean, just it's like a lot. It's like
Yes.
it's like you can't keep up. Like I can't keep up with the movies or shows as much as I watch it. It's a lot. So
'Cause even I work in sales, right? And I always say, you're always supposed to give a customer options, right? But then it becomes when you are overwhelming them when you give them too many options. You show them too many options, and I feel like that is also when it comes to. I mean, I'm not a filmmaker, but I'm a film watcher. I'm a film fan,
yeah,
and it's overwhelming going on a streaming service and I type in horror and there's a billion different horror movies up. It's
I know.
great, but it's fucking overwhelming as well because
Yeah,
I spend more time just scrolling through than actually watching a fucking movie.
yeah. Oh yeah, I know. That's true. It is a lot. It is. I agree.
Yeah, so I mean, and how do you find the good stuff if there's
I
there's
know.
so many? I mean, it's so many. I go on Tubi and like every once in a while I'm like, if it's not a filmmaker who I'm interviewing or somebody told me about it, I like to just go on and just find something random. And I spend a good 20 minutes just scrolling through and like
Right.
and then sometimes I just fucking give up and like, you know what, I'm just going
Yeah.
to Netflix and just watch some big budget movie that I already
Yeah.
know what I'm getting.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, yes, it's great to have tons of options, but I don't think us as humans we I think it's overwhelming. I think
Yeah.
it's become overwhelming.
Yeah. I thought. Yeah. For me, I'm more. I'm like 90% movies, 10% TV shows. And the funny thing about me, like, I'll watch. There could be a new show out, and here I am watching reruns of Roseanne or Give Me a Break. And my brother's like, there's new shows out. It's weird. I'm like, I know a lot of shows and movies. I watch a lot,
Mhm.
mostly movies. But I'm like, over the years, I feel like I'm like, someone will mention a new movie that's out. I'm like, oh, a new horror film. It's a trendy horror film. Like now I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm watching Night of the Creeps from 1986. So I have to get back up to speed with the new horror films, the new any genre films. I'm just kind of old school like that. So, but
I'm
when I
the,
do watch TV shows, there'll be only a few new ones I watch. Yeah,
I'm the same way. I always wondered, like, with my parents and even my grandparents, like, back in the day, there were so many good shows on, like, 24 and stuff like that. And they would be watching Bonanza or Gunsmoke, and I'd be like, why the fuck are you watching that old, like,
right.
And,
Yeah,
and now I'm in that same boat where I'm watching older stuff. Like,
yeah,
I turn on The Office. I've seen The
yeah.
Office, like, through so many times. But I just turn it on because I know what I'm getting. I know it's
Right.
just make me laugh. I know what to expect. And I
Yeah.
just feel the older you get, like the less you're likely to try out new things.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's true.
So, what are some recent horror movies that like have impressed you that you're like, wow, I like those?
God, God, drawing a blank. Well, horror films I've seen recently. Um, I did see. God, there's a lot more I know. So I haven't seen many. I did see The Barbarian. I did
Excellent
see
movie.
that. I did like that. That was really cool. That was And see, I don't see many. I didn't like the new Halloween movie. I was disappointed in because
Yeah.
I want to see Michael Myers. I don't. So that was something new that I saw that I didn't like. I saw Barbarian. God, I'm trying to think. Oh, you know what I did see? I was trying to. It came out like maybe 2 years ago. I did like it. I guess it was like kind of like psychological horror. I did like Nope, Jordan Peele's Nope. A lot of people were saying that was his worst of the three. They're like his weakest.
I wasn't a
I
fan.
thought that,
Yeah.
I actually liked that one. I liked it a lot. It was
Oh,
something about it just captivated me. But I can't think offhand. It's funny because I watch more action films than I do. Like I like action more. Like I saw the new Expendables, John Wick. Those are movies that really pump me up as well. But offhand, those are only horror films I can think right offhand that I saw recently. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, Barbarian, Nope. Yeah, those couple. Yeah.
so I'm gonna shoot over to action because I'm a huge action fan as well.
Yes.
Let's go to 80s action stars. All right.
Yeah.
Van Damme, Stallone, or Schwarzenegger? Who's your guy?
I'm a big Stallone fan.
Okay.
I love them all. I love Stallone, but also Stallone. He's actually I got like in my man cave, my basement downstairs. I have a lot of Stallone um, posters and everything like that. I'm a big like the Rocky Balboa speech from Rocky Balboa from 2006 is one of the best motivational speeches. It got me through a hard time, not to be like sound like cliche, but Stallone definitely. But Schwarzenegger and Van Damme are up there. They're up there close to. I love their work as well. They're amazing, to watch. So yeah, that's my action films are like I love it. I do. And Van Damme, they're all looking good today. Van Damme's still looking good. It's like like the last couple of years. I saw the most recent Kickboxer, not too long ago, but he had a cameo. He still looks good. I like Van Damme stuff, and Schwarzenegger's made some stuff. He made some really good dramatic stuff. One called Maggie that was good. He was
Maggie was great. Maggie was
great. So, but yeah, Stallone. I was very excited. I'm upset with the whole thing him not being in the newest Creed due to like the producer Irvin Winkler, whatever. But Stallone is I was excited. Like when movies come to theater, like a lot of people be excited for the new, whether a trendy horror film or a Marvel film. Sometimes, I'm not big into like super movies, but when it's like action Stallone, I was so pumped to see Expendables. I invited my buddies and we went to see that. The new one was great. So,
see, I'm the same way, man. I grew up in the '80s, so action and horror.
Yeah.
So, see, I'm a Van Damme guy. I love fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme. My favorite movie of all time is Bloodsport. Like, out of any genre, I love Bloodsport, which I get laughed at when I say that. But I love fucking Van Damme. I grew up on Van Damme. I also grew up on Schwarzenegger. I grew up on Stallone. I mean, the Rocky movies, the Terminators. Total Recall. The 80s, like the 80s was fucking amazing when it came to action movies. Absolutely amazing. Listen, let's toss Bruce Willis in there in a Die Hard.
Oh, he's great.
And it was an amazing time for fucking action. And I think it's coming, just kind of making a resurgence with the John Wick movies. The John Wick movies were, fucking masterpieces.
That's one of my favorite series. I love the John Wick films. And going back to Van Damme, there's a movie that he did called Wake of Death. That was the first film where he really proved he was more than an action star. His acting was really good. And JCVD was about his life. That's a good thing. Yeah. And I'm because you had Schwarzenegger and Stallone, and then Van Damme and Seagal. I'm a big Seagal fan. Seagal's films are not nearly as good as
I don't like Seagal.
Seagal. I liked his movies, not so much. The stuff you hear in the media. I'm not a fan of course, but Seagal. he had a great string of movies. The first 10 movies, I'm one of those people that watch everything the person does. I've watched a lot of the most recent stuff, and it was very disappointing. But nothing like Above the Law and Out for Justice. He had some great. He was amazing to watch.
Under Siege is the only Seagal movie that I thought was amazing. Like the first Under Siege, I enjoyed the first Under Siege. I'm kind of sad that he never got into the whole Expendables mix. But apparently, I think he had a beef with Stallone, but speaking of Expendables and Jean-Claude Van Damme, I mean, Expendables 2, which is my favorite out of all the Expendables. I mean, Jean-Claude Van Damme as a fucking villain, and you get to see that showdown between Stallone and Van Damme. It was like anybody who grew up in the fucking 80s, it was like, whoa, this is like, this is like Superman fucking fighting Batman or something. Like, it was fucking amazing.
Right. No, I was so excited when I found out that he was on board as one of the villains in Expendables 2. His fight scenes with Stallone was great. And then there's another great martial artist, and he did this podcast called Art of Action. Scott Adkins is phenomenal.
Yes.
And Scott Adkins did Hard Target 2, which is really good. It's a sequel to Hard Target.
Really?
Van Damme. Yeah. That's he's another great martial artist. Like up there with Donnie Yen and Tony Jaa and Bruce Lee. But there's a lot of great action stars, martial arts, that I love. Yeah.
Speaking of Scott Adkins and Expendables 2, I mean, to see him, a bad guy, side by side with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. And seeing him in John Wick, I knew that he was going to be in the John Wick 4 movie. But I was like, I was watching the movie. I was like, where the fuck is he? And I see him as a big fat guy. I was like, that's fucking awesome.
That was and he was great in that. And like John, I can't even tell you, all John Wick movies are great. There's nothing bad about them. I think I might like 4 the most. Just that whole going up the stairs scene. I mean, the fighting was just nonstop. It's like,
I did a review on, I know this is Horror Channel, but I did a review on my channel for John Wick 4 because I've seen every single John Wick movie in the theaters, even from the first one.
Yeah.
And I've been a fan. So but if I had to rank my John Wick movies, I would put 2 is my favorite. I'll put that at number 1. Then I'll put 4 as number 2. 4 is amazing. It's almost perfect.
Yeah.
Part 1 is number 3, and I will put part 3 last. Part 3 was my least favorite out of the 4.
Yeah. I gotta watch them. I think definitely 4 was my first one. The other ones I gotta think about, but I think 4 was my top one. But sometimes maybe like the movie you see the most recent kind of automatically goes as your top one. So but that is like a solid series. Just like I'm a big fan of all the Die Hard movies and Lethal Weapon. And I know they were supposed to. I heard they were already in production of Lethal Weapon 5, but then my friend Joey, who's a big Lethal Weapon fan, he goes, no, they haven't started yet. So I'm kind of like waiting to find out if it's happening because I know, because now Danny Glover's, I'm too old for this shit, is going to really make sense now. You know? So, yeah. And that to me, more than any duo partner film, those 2 are my favorite duos than anybody else in a movie. Like Mel Gibson and Danny Glover are amazing. Those 2 are my favorite. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, because we went through this weird phase in the 90s where there wasn't a bunch of action. It was like, I would say mid to late 90s, there wasn't a bunch of big name action films. And then all of a sudden, Jason Statham came out. And he was forced. And I love fucking Jason Statham.
He's great.
I hear that his new movie, The Beekeeper, is fucking amazing.
I know. I got to watch it. I plan on watching this week.
Yeah, I heard that's fucking amazing. But Jason Statham is a fucking badass. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great to watch. And he also he's also a great actor too. It's like a lot of these action stars, some of them not all of them, you get some that they're just great on screen, great to watch, but some also deliver some good performances, with their lines and everything. So
Jason Statham definitely had that charm to it. But you know another series that I do like too, the Bourne series. Bourne movies are some great action.
I haven't seen all of them. I think I only saw the first 2, but the 2 that I saw were great.
Yeah. They're definitely underrated. They don't get that much attention. All right, so So we just talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about horror, and we also talked about action
Yeah,
80s movies.
yeah, I love it. Yeah,
Talk
yeah.
about yes. I almost want to make a channel just for 80s action movies, man, because I fucking love
Yeah,
this shit.
yeah. That's just check out the Art of Action. Is Scott Adkins, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta check this out. So I watched all his. He only did one season, but he talks to. It's different because he talks to stuntmen and martial artists. You don't. It's fresh. You never hear a podcast that does that. He'll interview like a
Really?
stuntman, and yeah, he had Seagal on there. He had Van Damme, and Scott Adkins is a great host. He does his research and on the people, and yeah, it's a really good show to watch. Yeah.
Do you know what action star that I'm not a big fan of? Besides Seagal, Michael Jai White. I'm not a fan of his movies.
Oh, I do like his movies. I do like his stuff. I don't know him as much as Scott Adkins, but I've seen a lot of his stuff. There's a movie that he was in with Scott Adkins is in it. Iko Kawaias, and Tony Jaa. It's called Triple Threat, and it's amazing. I think Michael J. White is bad in that movie, and Scott Adkins, and then the other actors are good. There's a crazy fights, and then they're all fighting. It's nonstop. If you have a chance, check out Triple Threat. It's got really cool DVD artwork.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, it's worth checking. Yeah,
and it's not that I don't like him as an actor. I just feel like he gets put in a lot of shitty movies. Like he's the best part of majority of the movies, and like I just feel like he gets put in a lot of. I don't know if he's accepting every single role that put in front of him.
Right.
I just feel like he gets put into a lot of shitty movies.
Yeah, yeah, and when he fights, he's amazing what he does.
Amazing.
Yeah, and he's very in interviews he's very modest. I can't remember what his interview, but he was just giving props to. Some of the other martial artists. And everything. It was interesting hearing them talk. Yeah.
So I've seen him interviewed on Vlad TV, I believe it was, and yes, he does. But he doesn't think that fondly of Steven Seagal. Most action stars have a problem with Steven Seagal.
Yeah, yeah. He talked about him on X and Wounds, and I know. Oh my God, I'm trying to think. He was an executive decision. Steven Seagal. I can't think of the actor. He was in Carlos. I'm drawing a blank. Oh my God.
Of John Leguizamo.
Yes, he mentioned about Seagal kind of roughed him up, and it was just uncalled for. So I hear a lot of things about I know it's people can be gossiping. I like Seagal, his work and everything, but if that stuff is true, it doesn't make him as a favorable person, of course. Yeah. So.
Okay, Derek, where can everyone find you, my friend?
What's up?
Where can everyone find you?
I'm actually I'm on Facebook. If you just type in Derek Braasch, or Chibi's Film Productions, I'm on Facebook, and then I have a website which is www.chibisfilms.net, and that's our website. It's an online store. You can watch some of our movies, purchase some of them, and then I have a YouTube page, Chibi's Film Productions, on there as well. So I'm always on Facebook and always uploading stuff on the YouTube page, so I'm easy to find. Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, Derek, it's been a pleasure having you on, man. Listen, everybody, go and look out for Phil Hartman's 2 anthologies, Unearthed and Christmas Slaves, and you can see some of Derek's work. All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.